This is how I started a RV detailing business with less than $500. I'm going to go over the supplies you need, what you use them for, what exactly you need to do when you detail an RV, and how much money you can actually make doing this, and why a lot of people are sleeping on this business. So, RV detailing is basically where you go out, you wash RVs, you hand wax them at people's sites, so either at an RV park or at someone's house. It's very simple and it sounds simple because it is. It's just like auto detailing, but this is an unsaturated market. This is a business basically where there's not a lot of competition, and you can charge between $300 to $500 per RV detail, sometimes more. I'm giving you all the guys the lower end, but typically $300 to $500. So as you can see in these videos, what are like the main common things that you would need to detail an RV? Obviously, you're gonna need a vehicle. Okay, I know that's more than $500, but you're gonna have to have like either a car or a truck, at the bare minimum, so that you can show up to people's houses, so that you can detail their stuff. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, you can use a water hose. You can use a pressure washer. You need something to actually wash the RV down and scrub it. So that means having like a brush, like an auto detailing brush. That means having a bucket of soap, having a water hose, something like that with a nozzle. And it sounds as simple as you think. You literally get it wet. You get soap on the RV. You scrub it down. You clean it. You clean off the windows. You clean off the roof with soap and water. Stuff as simple as that. And then once it dries, you go ahead and you wax the surface. So like that's what I'm doing right here. I'm waxing the RV down. I'm removing water spots. I'm removing any streaks, imperfections. This is like kind of the second step where you make the RV look really nice so that it's actually presentable to the customer. Because if you wash an RV and you just leave a bunch of spots and streaks and you don't clean the wheels, you don't clean the windows, nothing like that, obviously the RV is not going to look good. So make sure that you wax and detail the RV just like you would do for a car after you're done. Okay, and typically you can make $5,000 to $10,000 a month doing this. If you do at least like 10 RV details in 1 month, you can make like $4,000 to $5,000. If you do like 15 to 20 RV details a month, you're easily kind of hovering around like the $10,000 a month mark. By the way, if you want to see my free case study, I have a video at rvcleaningacademy.com, and there's a link in the description in the comments where I show you how I went from working at Walmart to making about $5,000 to $10,000 a month cleaning RVs. It only took me like 60 days, and I already reached the 10K mark, and that's while I was working at Walmart. So if you guys want to watch that free video, I have that in the comments and the description, and you guys can watch that. So how do you get clients as well for this business? So obviously cleaning the RVs is pretty straightforward. Of course, it's just like detailing a car. But after that, the next main thing, you're gonna have to figure out a way to get clients. There's many different methods. Some methods work better than others. Some don't work at all. Some work really good. How I got my ever like first jobs, I just went into RV parks and I was literally like knocking on people's doors, offering RV cleaning. I had never cleaned an RV before. When I first started this, I literally like there was a guy in my town that was doing this, and he came into Walmart, and I wanted to start a business, and I saw that he was like pulling a trailer with RV detailing banner on it or something like that. And I asked him what he did for work, and he said, "Oh, I detail RVs. I'm making like $800 a day." I remember he told me that. And at Walmart, I was only making like probably like 500, $600 a week at the most. That's if I got enough hours. But I remember when I was talking to this dude, and by the way, he's still operating in my town today. He still details RVs. He still makes a lot of money. He's actually buying an RV park, so that's what he's doing right now. He made enough money to where now he's buying an RV park. So that just gives you a reference of how much money you can make doing this. But anyways, so he basically was like, he got a phone call while I was talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, I just booked a $400 job like right there, while I was on my Walmart shift." And I remember I was like, "Dude, this RV detailing thing, like it seems legit. So yeah, I started going out. I was knocking on doors, going to every park in my city. Now, full disclosure, knocking on doors at RV parks is not the best method, but it was the only thing I knew how to do at the time. I had no business experience whatsoever. You will get a lot of doors like slammed in your face. There will be like, there could be a chance you get like kicked out of the park. That actually happened to me. So I went into this one park and literally like I'm going up. I almost got this guy to book an RV detailing job, right? This dude, and he was like sitting at the door or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, how soon can you come out?" And literally this lady, I guess the RV before him, this lady I offered to clean her RV, and she got kind of like rude with me, and she was like, "Oh, I can't believe this," and she like slammed the door in my face, and I was like, okay, screw her. So I went to the next RV, and as I'm talking to this dude, and I'm pretty sure this dude's about to like book the job, like he wants to get his RV done. Well, this lady in a golf cart, like the manager of the park, like pulls up, and she just like says like, no, oh, you can't solicit in this park. You don't have, we don't know who you are, and she basically told me that I had to leave and I got like kicked out of the park. And I distinctly remember like I asked her for a ride back to the entrance in her golf cart, and she literally said no. She was like no, like I'm not gonna give you a ride. So I had to like walk back all the way back to like the entrance of the RV park, and she was just like following me in the golf cart the whole time, just like mean mugging me. And yeah, I got kicked out of that park, and the dude ended up like not booking the job because he was like, "Oh yeah, they said you can't operate in here now." And yeah, that was when I first got started, and but eventually, I did get a job. It took me a few days of doing this. I did eventually get like my first like RV detail. I also went to RV dealerships, by the way. Guys, don't waste your time on dealerships. You might get a job or two from a dealership, but the dealerships are like so cheap that they might pay you once or twice to detail an RV, but once they catch on, they'll kind of like just hire someone to do it themselves. I've had this happen several times where the RV dealers like called our business, or we got like a job from them, and we detail like one RV, and then I find out they'll hire like some teenager to like detail the RVs in their lot for like $9 an hour or something like that. Because once they pay like that $400 to $500, like they kind of just they have this like oh we're not gonna pay that. So they usually find some like low skilled worker to like do it, detail the RVs on the lot. So guys, don't waste time in dealerships, RV dealerships. Trust me, like it sounds like a good idea. Like, oh, I'm gonna be in here. There's so many RVs that need to be cleaned. Well, they're not gonna want to pay you a lot of money. Number one, number two, they'll usually use you, and then they'll find someone to replace you eventually. So you guys want to go after RV owners, people that own RVs, people that want their RV detailed, people that want their RV waxed, people that want, someone to come when it's convenient and, come to their site and clean it. And for the people that say, like, I get a lot of comments sometimes, people saying, oh, you can go through the Blue Beacon for however so much money. There's a lot of people, like, the people that go to the Blue Beacon that pay cheap, those are not like your ideal customers. People that, pay for like a cheap wash down or whatever, or someone to come just pressure wash their rig. That's not the kind of clients that you guys want. Like, these are like low baller clients. They're cheap clients. They only want to pay like 100, maybe $200 for like an RV cleaning. And these people don't really care about the quality. They're more worried about like the price overall. You guys don't want these kind of people. You want to go after the people that want a wash and hand wax, someone that's going to do a good job, someone that's going to put in some elbow grease, take their time, spend at least like 4 to 6 hours detailing the RV top to bottom, cleaning the roof, being gentle with the RV, using the right products, dressing the tires, that kind of thing. Like, trust me, guys, do not chase doing cheap details, because one of the main problems with doing like cheap RV detailing is that you're going to leave behind water spots, you're going to leave behind all sorts of imperfections because you're trying to do the job as fast as possible. And the problem is that these cheap customers, they're still going to complain, and they're still going to dog your service. Even though they're paying the cheaper price, it's almost like they expect more out of you. So the cheap clients almost kind of are like, they're the worst clients. They're the ones that want like the highest quality, but they're least willing to pay you the money that you deserve. You guys want people that don't have a problem paying $300 to $500. $300 minimum. That's why I always say, like, don't take less than like $300 for like a full wash and wax. It's just not worth it. You're not gonna be making any money. You know what I mean? You're gonna be out there breaking your back all day just for like $200, guys. Don't do that. If you're brand new and it's like a friend or family member, or you're just learning, yeah, maybe you could do some cheap RV detailing. But once you get going, guys, trust me, people will pay you super high prices. You just have to know what you're doing. You have to do a good job. You have to have the right system to bring in the customers, and you have to get the right customers, okay? So go to the link down in the description and the comments that I have pinned if you guys want to get that free case study, how we started this business, what exactly we had to do to get there. So just go there to check out that free video, that free tutorial, and leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you found this useful, and let me know if y'all have any questions about starting this kind of business, because I can definitely help y'all out. I'll see you guys later. Peace.